the alleged assault happened here at Loren Park at the end of July. And according to this police report, a 5-year-old boy was lured from the park and then assaulted by a teenager near the railroad tracks. But a lot of people still in shock this morning when they came into work and had a meeting, an all-call meeting, and that's when they were told, hey, you don't have to come back for construction because your job is no longer here.
Now if we can just get rid of some of these clouds, it'll be perfect.
Well, that's your job, Jim.
Okay.
The chief operations officer for the district says they don't open these gates to the bus lot until about 5:15 in the morning. I'm outside of City Hall right now where the door remains closed on this issue. Columbia leaders say they cannot comment on what happened, citing that this is an ongoing investigation. These food pallets are in place because all the American Red Cross can do right now is prepare. There's still uncertainty about where Hurricane Irma will land, but they want to be ready for whatever comes our way. The General Assembly has given $28 million to school buses around the state, $45 million less than what the Department of Education says they need.
Honestly, Lauren, a lot of people probably don't even know what DACA is.
Right, and DACA stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. And so these are kids who came to the U.S. brought by their parents who were legal immigrants but grew up here in the U.S. And now Congress is expected to take 6 months to come up with a decision on if they will keep DACA. And the shutdown of this program could change the lives of 800,000 people around the country. That includes one woman I spoke with today who was hoping to finish her nursing degree next year.
I've lived my life here. This is all I know.
Natalie Martinez says she was brought to South Carolina from Mexico with her brother at the age of 7. She was later accepted into the DACA program after she graduated from high school in 2014. Now she's attending nursing school at Midlands Tech.
I always wanted to go to college. I've always wanted to be a nurse. I just didn't know how I was going to be a nurse, you know, because I didn't have no Social Security. So I was just happy just to get a chance at a good future so I can help my parents out because they worked so hard to get me through school and just supporting me. Her future here in the U.S. could change, and she could potentially be deported if the program is terminated. And I mean, I'm scared, you know, because they have all our information. So if it does end, they can find you. And, you know, so it's so scary. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just pray to God that they don't allow this to happen.
Congress has 6 months to make the decision on the program. Here in South Carolina, Congressman Joe Wilson supports the ending of DACA.
It's my view that persons who are in this country illegally, whoever they are, whatever they are, should go back to their home country and then reapply. We want to encourage people to come legally to America.
Senator Lindsey Graham wants other legislation to be put in place.
Well, to those who want these kids to go back home, they have no other home. Most of them came here when they were 6 years old or less. They didn't break the law, their parents did. If you deported all these kids, it would hurt our economy because most of them are in the workforce.
Martinez just hopes that the outcome will keep her here.
My life is here, not in Mexico.
Now Congress returns to Washington from their recess tomorrow, and we could expect them to start speaking about this, talking about it at least when they return.
I think it's interesting that Senator Graham said that for most of these children, this is their home.
Yes, and Natalie said, you know, she's proud to be Mexican, but she knows South Carolina. She's a Gamecock fan, you know, so this is her home.
Yeah, not Mexico.
Right.
Several days of asking by News 19, the city of Columbia has finally released a statement on a story we broke earlier this week. It has to do with the assault of a 5-year-old boy at a City of Columbia-run summer camp. News 19's Loren Thomas joins us now with their response, and I know you've been asking them for days to give us some sort of response as to what happened. So what are they saying?
Well, JR, within the last half hour, we got this response, and the statement says in part that a criminal investigation was immediately initiated and is ongoing. A concurrent administrative review was initiated and disciplinary actions were taken involving staff of the Parks and Recreation Department, which resulted in terminations, suspensions, work improvement notices, and staff reassignments. This is just part of the statement. We'll have the full statement on our website, WLTX.com. But also tonight, we got a chance to hear from the grandfather of the 16-year-old accused of this assault. He's speaking out. Now, we're not sharing his identity, but he says he doesn't believe his grandson did anything wrong. Do you think that he committed this crime?
From the inside of what he's been taught and what my daughter's been taught, No.
The grandfather of the 16-year-old accused of assaulting a 5-year-old at Loren Park is speaking out.
My daughter called me and was telling me that she haven't seen her son. So I told her to immediately call the hospitals and call the jail to make sure that he's all right, and I'll go out and look for him. Well, she called me back and said, Dad, come to find out he's in Alvin S. Glenn.
His grandson has been in the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center since the July 28th incident, when he was arrested at Loren Park for assaulting a 5-year-old boy. His grandfather says they have no idea what's going on and want answers as to why they weren't notified of his arrest.
We don't know anything, and they not helping us to find out anything. Now, we believe he didn't do it. We definitely believe he didn't do it because he wasn't taught that type of behavior.
What is he facing right now? Do you know what he's facing?
What we were told is they charging him as an adult. And mind you, this is his first time ever being locked up. And he just turned 16 2 months ago. But they charging him as an adult. And they say he's facing 25 to life.
Now, the teen is expected to make his first appearance next week. And as I said before, that full statement will be on our website, WLTX.com.
Let's talk about that for just a moment, because according to that statement, terminations have resulted from this. So it clearly states that more than one person has lost their job. Suspensions, other people are off the job tonight, perhaps suspended for whatever happened out there.
Right, and we still don't know what happened. So the questions that we still have for the city are how this 5-year-old got into their care when their parks say, have an age range of 6 to 12 when it comes to those summer camps.
And that is perhaps the biggest question tonight. Why is the 5-year-old out there? He's not age appropriate, apparently, to be out there at that time.
Right.
Loren Thomas, thank you so very much.
I saw career opportunities, it made me very hopeful.
Colton, who wants us to only use his first name, worked in the painters unit at the VC summer facility for 9 months.
I was so confident that the place was going to continue that we got the house.
Just last week, he and his wife moved into their new home in Blythewood.
My plans were to continue working here until the site went operational and then try to switch over to the live side, because me and my wife want to stay in the community.
But those plans changed drastically when he got news that he and more than 5,000 other employees, some who just started, were let go.
You could say that for some jobs it would be okay to give a sudden layoff to somebody for whatever reason, but with a job like this where you've got so many people traveling, I think it's cruel that you would allow all these contractors to hire in new people to then lay them off the next week.
Now he's looking for work elsewhere.
Are there any opportunities like that left in the state?
Mostly residential, more than likely. I don't know of any other places that, obviously nuclear, no.
Colton has a mechanical degree, and while his next job is up in the air, his mortgage payment is right around the corner.
If it hadn't been for the plan, we wouldn't have been able to get the house, but now I gotta try and find something that's gonna be equivalent to it.
In Blythewood, Loren Thomas, News 19, WLTX.